10 years ago. Welcome back to the Battlefront Alliance. This is my tribute to my favorite game of all time, EA Star Wars Battlefront 2015. As of November 17th, 2025, this game has been out for a decade. Through all the good times and all the bad. Through the tough launch with not a ton of content to what it ended up becoming with all the DLCs, Outer Rim, Bespin, the Death Star, and Scarif. All the new heroes, all the new weapons, all the new star cards. This experience to me was something special, and I can't quite put my finger on it. EA Battlefront 2017 undoubtedly has more content than this game, but for whatever reason, this is the game I default to. This game was so far ahead of its time, it is insane. The graphics on this game would be stunning if it was released today. Who remembers the beta on Hoth? The first time you logged into this game, you could tell this was something special. This was an experience that we had not got before. The love, care, and attention to detail that had been put into this game. Roaming around the hallways on Hoth, coming across a hero that would scare you to death. My first real experience with the multiplayer after this game launched was on the Sorosub Centralplex on Sullust. I had no idea how the online modes worked at this point. I remember just shooting at the walker before it was ready to be attacked. This ended up becoming probably my second favorite map in the entire game. The graphics, the layout, the look, everything was phenomenal. And from that first match, I was hooked. This became non-stop grinding. Hours and hours and hours were put into this game. So many so that I had maxed out to rank 100 on 2 separate accounts. There was just something about it. I can't put my finger on why this game was so much fun. The experience, the graphics, everything was beautiful, like I've said. But when it came to gameplay, it was just so much legit fun to jump into and play. Even more so than Star Wars Battlefront 2017, a game that came out 2 years later by the same company. For whatever reason, the first release was so much better in my opinion. There's just some magic. There was just something that, again, I can't put my finger on why or what it is. But this game was just so much fun to play. Maybe it was just the time to kill. Maybe it was just how the blasters worked. Or the various star card system. There's just something. There's just something there that was a lot of fun. I will say, hero gameplay, it was okay. Some of the heroes were great. When it came to the lightsaber users, that's when there was some issues, and it was a little bit janky. We saw the same thing in Battlefront 2, and something that, at least in the online multiplayer Star Wars games, we haven't really seen EA perfect yet. I will say, for the hero gameplay, when you joined the Battlefront, you felt like a hero. The hero health system was so much better than in the next game's release. You had 100 hit points, you still were insanely overpowered if you played your cards right, and there was nothing like taking out rebel soldiers as Darth Vader on Hoth. I think it's pretty safe to say, this game had a pretty controversial launch, with not a lot of content for offline players. You had the training missions, which were somewhat cool. You had the battles, you had the survival missions. All these were cool options, but we were really missing that campaign that we had come to love in Star Wars Battlefront games. For myself, this was disappointing. As someone who is more of an offline player, I did want to see this experience. I did mess around quite a bit in the survival trainings. Unfortunately, I never maxed out all of the stars. Some of these missions were pretty tough and pretty grindy. This is definitely a little bit more of a criticism on my part. Would have loved to seen a campaign, even if it was something really short. I don't know, I'm glad it was in the second game, although there was definitely some issues with that one as well. Can't talk about this game without going over all of the expansions that we saw. Leading up to expansions, that was just a special time as well. We'd get that, 1 or 2 minute trailer hyping up the update. It would reveal some of the weapons. It would reveal the heroes and what was to come. And again, the hype leading up to these was insane. As someone who was quite a bit younger when these games came out, I was so excited to finally get my hands on this content. When it came to Outer Rim, Bespin, the Death Star, and the Rogue One Scarif DLCs, these were some of my favorite times to play the game. And there was just no better experience than, logging on for that first time after a big expansion had dropped that we'd been waiting for months and months. These were spread out pretty far between each other, but the wait was definitely worth it. Who remembers going into the various hut contracts? This was on my second account, so I didn't finish all of them, unfortunately. I did get quite a bit done, though, and seeing what would be required to unlock the newest blasters. An interesting way of doing the unlockables in this game, something I honestly didn't hate, and I wouldn't mind seeing it come back for Battlefront 2. With all of these expansions, we saw new maps and new worlds. And as always for DICE, these were phenomenally designed and looked incredible. My favorite was honestly probably the Death Star. I just loved that game mode that came with it. The map looked great, and I just had so much fun at grinding out that DLC. If I had to rank them all, I'd probably go Death Star 1, Bespin 2, Scarif 3, and Outer Rim 4. Not that Outer Rim was bad, but with all these incredible DLCs, it's so hard to rank them. Even when it comes to Scarif, there's nothing like, going through infiltration just to land on that incredible looking beach and all the landing pads. Again, just props to how good this game looked for its time. This still looks stunning in 2025. Just absolutely crazy. With these expansions, we also saw new heroes come to the game. I remember being so hyped up to see who would be coming in the next update. Some were definitely better than others. Transitioning over, who remembers the Lando glitch? Oh man, this was the most broken thing that we've ever seen in a Battlefront game. It's not even close. The ability to spam kill anyone with his power shot ability. I remember just messing around online. It was like my first time ever doing this glitch. I only did it a couple of times just because I knew how annoying it was online, so I tried to stop doing it. I took down both the walkers and walker assault in the first phase, basically. And we won on Sullust, and it was just one of the craziest things I've ever done online in one of these lobbies. I think I had the clip at some point, but it's been lost just to, the years and years of time that has gone by. One of the worst glitches we've ever seen, and, it sucks. It took them quite a while to actually get this patched, but, end of the day, Lando was fixed, and Lando ended up getting balanced. When it came to game modes, there were so many great options. Obviously, Walker Assault was the flagship game mode, but I could go into so many stories for each of these about just great overall experiences and memories. So many so in Heroes versus Villains. I remember always queuing up for Sulphur Fields because it would go on to Dune Sea Exchange and Imperial Station. Two of my favorite maps, easily, of the smaller ones in this game. But so many great memories, and even some of the game modes that weren't played as much. Supremacy, Hero Hunt, Drop Zone. I can go on and on for hours. But I think I'm going to end it here for today. If I wanted to go into every single detail, every single aspect of this game, we would literally be here for like 5 or 6 hours. There's just so many things to get into. It's crazy. You just can't do it all in one video. What does this game mean to me? I'll say this. It wasn't the perfect Star Wars game, but this game was my childhood growing up. Through middle school into midway through high school, this was what I played. This was my main game. So many memories, so many great friends I've made through this game that I still talk to today. It's an experience that I will not soon repeat. So I'm curious, in the comments down below, What do you guys think of Star Wars Battlefront 2? 10 years ago, this franchise got rebooted. Gave it a second life. What memories do you have of this game? Do you like it? Do you not? Definitely let me know in the comments down below. But that'll do it for this one. I'll see you all in the next video.